So how can a church today start preparing for creating the systems and strategies for augmented reality?
I think that they would need to look at just not from a technical perspective, but just from a strategic perspective. What type of digital aspects could we add to what we're already doing? Here's one example. Let's say you have an app. If you have an app, and we just consider the phone for today, if there's a way to build it, I mean, there is a way, but you could look at what if somebody was looking through the app, and as when they come in the building, a family will somehow have a virtual guide that will guide them to where to take their children to drop them off at children's church, and then guide them to a special area where we seat for new visitors or something like that. But something as small as that would help a family who's new to your church, never been there, but want to drop their kids off and have a experience as they figure out, do they want to join this church and how to become a part of this church family. And so small things like that helps them guide them around. We do that now in the offline space because we have people guiding them around. We have, the guides telling them, hey, take your kids here. We have people in the parking lot guiding you around, but you can do that in the digital space if you planned accordingly. So start to look at what you're already doing and how can you make that done in a digital space. Now, we don't want to take away the personal connection.
Right.
We do want to keep that, but there is an examples of where you can utilize some digital aspects in addition to the personal touch. So again, we're not talking about supplanting the personal touch. We're just talking about supplementing it.
Right. And I think that's one of the big levels of pushback, right? And, you might say, somebody might be listening and they say, listen, I would much rather have a face-to-face with my cousin than have a digital experience with your cousin. Sure. But if your cousin lives on the other side of the continent and you have FaceTime and you have Skype and you have Snapchat and you have Instagram Live and all those things, it doesn't replace the personal interaction, but it enhances it. So I think that's
Absolutely.
key, is what kind of perspectives can we take to enhance that interaction rather than, as you said, we're not trying to supplant it.
Exactly. And I think of it, the example I use is my kids love Granny, my mom. They love Granny. Nothing tops Granny. So when we're going there for Thanksgiving, they want to be face to face with her and interact with her. But since we don't live in the same city as her, they talk to her on FaceTime all the time. But FaceTime doesn't replace Granny time. Granny time is Granny time. But again, that connection is enhanced and continues even when they're not in the same place. But the key point of it is that personal interaction when that time comes.